Can you solve all these Class 4 Computer Chapter 5 Storage Devices questions? RAM stands for Good thinking. Random access memory is the right answer.
Full form of P.
Smart move. Kilo Prey is an accurate answer. Storage devices? Nice work. You chose hard disk, and it is correct.
Full form of DVD.
Great job. Digital video disc is the accurate answer.
ROM stands for dash. Right again. Read-only memory is a valid answer. Processing includes.
Perfect. All above is the correct choice.
1 megabyte is equal to. On track, 1024 KB is the correct answer.
Which one is expensive? Good job. Your answer RAM works well here. What does SES stand for?
Well done. Solid-state drive is the right choice. It is used in smartphones. Great thinking. Memory card is the right choice. It is look like a circle. Clear logic. Your choice CD is sound and 100% true.
Which of these are obsolete? Excellent choice. Floppy disk is the right answer. Printer is a storage device.
Right choice. False is the best answer. Internal hard drives are dash.
Well reasoned. Inside a computer is the correct choice.
Flash drive is also called as. Solid response. Pen drive is a valid choice. Is an example of input device.
Smart pick. Touchscreen is the correct choice.
It is located inside the computer.
Exactly. Hard disks make sense, and it is right choice.
Flash memory looks like a circle. You got it? Your choice false is right. CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays are called. Valid point. Optical discs is true.
Storage devices are generally dash. Nice selection. Non-favorable is the correct and valid answer.
What are the two types of storage? Well picked. Primary and secondary is the correct answer. What does the word obsolete mean? Sharp thinking. No longer in use is the right choice. Smallest unit of computer memory is. Strong choice. It is the right answer. Optical drives are used to read dash.
Correct. CDs is the right answer. We can use dash to store information.
You're right. Storage devices is the correct answer.
Hardware devices connected to system.
You chose peripherals, and it is correct. We can find hard disk inside the CPU. Nicely done. True is a solid answer. What is the memory capacity of CD-ROM? Bravo, 700 MB is the answer. Which one stores the data temporarily? Correct response. RAM is the most accurate answer.
Data is stored in an information system.
Excellent. Storage is a brilliant choice. Which of these is not a type of SD card? Smart pick. X-Large SD is the correct choice. Which is an example of a handheld device?
Nice selection. Smartphone is the correct and valid answer.
Fixed devices are designed to be portable.
Right again. False is a valid answer.
Which is an example of a portable device? You're right. Laptop is the correct answer. Is this device a storage device? Keyboard? Well done. No is the right choice.
Which is popular and handy storage device? On track. Floppy disk is the correct answer.
Which device is a secondary storage device?
Exactly. Flash drive makes sense and it is right choice.
Which of these is not a type of floppy disk? Excellent. 4.3-4" is a brilliant choice. What is the memory capacity of floppy disk? Excellent choice. 1.44 MB is the right answer. Visible or audible results of data processing. Correct response. Output is the most accurate answer.
What year did the first flash drive come out?
Nicely done. 2000 is a solid answer.
Which memory is also called permanent memory?
Bravo. ROM is the answer.
Which is placed inside the system permanently.
You chose hard disk, and it is correct.
How many types of memory is there in a computer?
Valid point. 2 is true.
What is the storage capacity of multimedia card?
Up to 128 DB is the correct choice.
Raw data that is fed into an information system.
Good job. Your answer input works well here. It is a compact, round and shiny storage device.
Great job. CD is the accurate answer.
You can put dash in your hand or in your pocket. Smart move. Flash memory is an accurate answer.
What must you do before removing your flash drive?
Great thinking. Eject it is the right choice.
A dash is the main storage device in your computer. Strong choice. Hard drive is the right answer.
What is the storage capacity of a 3.12" floppy?
Correct. 1.44 MB is the right answer.
Which device would be the best to run a database on?
Good thinking. Shared is the right answer. In which decade was the first floppy disk introduced?
You got it? Your choice 1960s is right.
Handheld devices can only be held in the hand or worn. Nice work. You chose true, and it is correct.
What do optical drives use to read data on CDs or DVDs?
Right choice. Laser is the best answer. This type of storage disk can store data on both sides.
Well reasoned. Blu-ray disc is the correct choice.
Are the input devices more important or the output devices?
Solid response. Both is a valid choice.
We can use this storage device to store large amount of data.
Sharp thinking. Hard disk is the right choice. A small, sturdy device used to store a large amount of data. Well picked. Pen drive is the correct answer.
Which device has the most processing power, laptop or tablet?
Clear logic. Your choice laptop is sound and 100% true. Kamala wants to copy a movie. Which storage device can she use?
Right choice. DVD is the best answer.
It is the memory device of the computer fixed inside the CPU box.
Smart move. Hard disk is an accurate answer.
One of the easiest storage devices without moving parts is a dash.
Perfect. Flash drive is the correct choice. Which type of storage device generally has the largest capacities?
Correct response. Hard drives is the most accurate answer.
Which type of device can be accessed by more than one user at a time?
Nice selection. Shared devices is the correct and valid answer.
Primary storage in a computer is the dash memory that holds information temporarily.
Valid point. Internal is true. When a data is processed, organized and presented in a meaningful way, it is called dash.
Right again. Information is a valid answer.
Which device would I use if I was running and providing database servers to other users?
Great job. Database servers is the accurate answer.
Is the unit which carried out all instructions, and it's the brain of the information system.
Nicely done. CPU is a solid answer.
The term used to describe the way information systems converts raw data into useful information.
You're right. Processing is the correct answer. A type of portable storage that is similar to flash drives and is used in many digital cameras.
Strong choice. SD card is the right answer.
A system that performs many tasks can be described in terms of input, output, storage, processing, and feedback.
Smart pick. Function of computer system is the correct choice.
What does this picture show?
Excellent. Hard disk is a brilliant choice.
Can you identify this type of storage device? On track. USB is the correct answer.
What type of device is this? USB memory stick.
Correct. Storage is the right answer.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Nice work. You chose contact Narayan Changda on Facebook, and it is correct.